Good afternoon. I am Jim Hutchinson. I'm the Minister of Music and the Principal Organist here at Westmont Presbyterian Church, and I welcome you today on behalf of Reverend Dr. Renee Whitaker, who is on a much-deserved vacation. She has just been working so hard and keeping everything together here through these crazy times, and we wish her the very, very best and sure that she will return to us invigorated and ready to lead us on. That little Johann Sebastian Bach piece, Jesu Joy Man's Desiring, was played by our music associate, Dr. Rodney Eatman. Good to have him with us today. Way back up there in the technology, back up there where the church mice live, I think. We've got Kevin Howe. He runs all of, makes us all look good and sound good up here. Thanks for being here, Kevin. And today we are privileged to have with us two ladies from the Westmont Family Counseling Ministry. Hibby Price is the administrator, and Janet Shadid, I'm close, is here also. So they're going to present a lot of information about the organization, which is very near and dear to us here at the church because it had its start here in 1988, and at one time, the offices were located here on the church campus. A couple of things looking forward. This coming Sunday is Father's Day, and Reverend Jim Farrar will be here filling in for Dr. Whitaker. And also we will have several members of the choir, ladies of the choir, who will do some special music for us. That's this coming Sunday. You'll be able to live stream that at 10:15 in the morning. Next Wednesday, we again will have some of our very wonderful young people, young and talented people from the church. Sammy Supis will be here with some music and some stories to tell us all about the things that he is doing and all of those different things as he moves forward. Now, I thought maybe I would read a couple of things from the Psalms this morning, utilizing Psalm 50. For some reason, this is a wonderful psalm, but we don't hear it too often. It doesn't seem to appear in our general lectionary very often. And I think in this crazy times that we are in, and also with everything that the organization does, maybe these would be appropriate words to today. This is from Psalm 50, which speaks of tempest and thanksgiving and honor and sacrifice. The mighty one, God the Lord, speaks and summons the earth from the rising of the sun to its setting. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God shines forth. Our God comes and does not keep silence. Before him is a devouring fire and a mighty tempest all around him. He calls to the heavens above and to the earth that he may judge his people. Gather to me, my faithful ones, who made a covenant with me by sacrifice. The heavens declare his righteousness, for God himself is judge. Mark this, then, you who forget God, or I will tear you apart, and there will be no one to deliver. Those who bring thanksgiving as their sacrifice honor me. To those who go the right way, I will show the salvation of God. And moving on over to Psalm 108, another wonderful psalm that we don't, again, utilize too many times with our lectionary. My heart is steadfast, O God, my heart is steadfast. I will sing and make melody, awake my soul. Awake, O harp and lyre, I will awake the dawn. I will give thanks to you, O Lord, among the people. I will sing praises to you among the nations, for your steadfast love is higher than the heavens, and your faithfulness reaches to the clouds. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens, and let your glory be over all the earth. Give victory with your right hand, and answer me, so that those whom you love may be rescued. What an honor it is to have people from Westmont Family Counseling Ministries with us today. Hibby, thank you for being here.
Good afternoon. My name's Hibby Price, and I'm the administrator at Westmont Family Counseling Ministries. A little bit of history of our organization. Westmont Family Counseling Ministries began as a mission of this church, Westmont Presbyterian Church, in the fall of 1988 by Dr. David Walker, who had a degree in counseling, but he was also the assistant pastor here at the church. We started back then in the house next door, next door, corner of Geneva and Luzerne Street, called the Geneva House. And we were there for 20-some years. The church sold the property. It's now a private home. And we are now located, as of the past 5 years, at 789 Goucher Street. We rent a home from Quality Life Services at Westmont Woods, which was previously the Presbyterian home. And it's a wonderful building. It's a very home-like atmosphere. We've grown from, at the beginning, about 30 sessions a month to now an average month is about 275 sessions. We have 7 counselors with us. Some of them have been with us since very early on. One of them is here with me today. They're all licensed and highly experienced, diverse ages, and we can service all types of people who come to us with different issues. So we're very grateful to have such a wonderful group of counselors that we do. We're run by the administrator and a board of directors, 5 of whom are members of this church. We have clients from Cambria, Somerset, Blair, Bedford, and Westmoreland counties. We do individual couples and family counseling, and occasionally we have groups for special interests, things that come up that we feel there's something needs to be addressed. We see people all different hours of the day and evening. We accept most types of private health insurance, anything that's not associated with Medicare and Medicaid. We work with 13 different employee assistance plans, and we offer a sliding income scale. To people who come to us to pay privately, we base their fee on their annual family income. And we don't turn anyone away if they can't afford the suggested fee. We are a ministry. What we do use to make up the difference between our expenses, seeing the clients, and the income that comes in from private pay and insurance, we get a grant annually from Lee Initiatives, which we really are grateful for, and donations from the community make up the difference. Unfortunately, this year, because of the coronavirus, the Lee Initiatives grant has been reduced. Understandably, they'll be sending more money to the local food banks, which totally makes sense. During the coronavirus, we've been open throughout. We've been doing remote counseling using Zoom, FaceTime, and even just the telephone. Now, as of about 2-3 weeks ago, we're seeing people in the building for in-person counseling and also doing the remote counseling as well. When people come into the building, we're requiring masks, we're observing social distancing, checking on their medical history before they come in, so we're being very cautious. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus, our annual fundraising dinner, which we have in October every year, unfortunately has to be canceled. This is our main fundraiser, and we hope to have some smaller fundraisers during the year, but we really rely on the income we raise during the annual dinner. But unfortunately, it's the right choice not to have it this year. It's too large of a group. But this money and the grant money enable us to treat all members of the community who need our services, regardless of their ability to pay. The needs of the community are continuing at this time, and we're seeing an increase, especially now that we're bringing people into the building again, due to issues caused by isolation, anxiety, and financial concerns. All of these are exacerbated by the virus. Please continue to refer people to us. If you know of someone who can use our help, we would greatly appreciate the referral. And please call if we can offer you any help at this time. This is what we're here for. We continue to be so grateful for your prayers, your referrals, and your donations. So please remember Westmont Family Counseling Ministries and our mission in the community. We are experiencing an increase in need combined with a decrease in financial support. So your donations, any support you can give us will be greatly appreciated. And I'd also like to thank Westmont Presbyterian Church, who's been so instrumental in this organization. We began here. We wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the church. We get so much financial and emotional support from the congregation here. Prayers and Squares in this church supplies us with prayer squares for our clients, and they've made us a nice assortment of beautiful masks at this time, which people are really appreciating. We also appreciate the music ministry and Hutch and the choir. They donate the proceeds of their Christmas concert to us every year, and we're so grateful. Don Woodnorth, who oversaw our script program for many years, we're so appreciative of all his work and everyone who supported the script program. And the deacon's dash here at the church also has given us the proceeds from their race. So thank you, every one of you, for your help. Please check your mail for information coming up about upcoming fundraisers for WFCM, and please keep us in your hearts and your prayers. And I'd like to introduce Janet Shadid. She is a licensed social worker. She's been with Westmont Family Counseling Ministries for, almost 20 years. She can tell you a little bit about her experiences at Westmont Family Counseling Ministries. And here's Janet. Thank you.
Thank you, Hibby. And thank you to Westmont Family Presbyterian Church, because we loved being here when we were here, and we just appreciate your constant support and everything you do for us. And like Hibby said, if it weren't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. So as Hibby said, my name's Janet, and I'm privileged to be a therapist at Westmont Family Counseling Ministries. We have 7 dedicated and qualified therapists at Westmont Family Counseling Ministries, and collectively we have well over 100 years experience. Some of us have other jobs, and we all have a great deal of experience. For example, I was a teacher before I had children, and we use a lot of our experiences, life experiences, in therapy. I was fortunate enough to be a stay-at-home mom, but unfortunately I was young and I didn't realize I had to keep up my teaching credentials. So when I wanted to go back to work, I couldn't because my teaching credentials had run out. So I got a master's in social work. And my husband happened to be on the board at Westmont Family Counseling Ministries, and my husband's an Orthodox priest, and he loves Westmont Family Counseling Ministries because it's a counseling agency that allows people to use God and Jesus. And I've been at jobs where if we said the word God or Jesus, we would get fired or written up. So when I was in graduate school, we had to write a paper on an agency we had a lot of respect for. So I was fortunate enough to interview Dr. Walker, who was the administrator, and Barb Pinchak, who was the secretary, and I wrote a paper on Westmont Family Counseling Ministries, the history of it, because we needed to write a paper on an agency we respected. I had no idea I would be a therapist here one day, so I'm very, very blessed. Because of the pandemic, we started doing therapy over the phone, Zoom, FaceTime, and now we can do it in person. But because we have Zoom and FaceTime, this also allows us to see people out of state. So people can call in from Florida or whatever, and we can do counseling that way. There are lots of issues that we cover. Most of the counseling we do is cognitive behavioral therapy, but we also have 2 therapists that are certified in EMDR. We have a certified drug and alcohol counselor. We do a lot of family counseling, individual counseling, couples counseling, not only man and women, but same-sex couples, group therapy, as Hibby said. And the issues that we see a lot of are depression, anxiety, grief, and grief includes not only the loss of a spouse, but a parent or a child, getting over a breakup. And one thing I've noticed with that is that not only young people have difficulty with breakups, but older people as well. And so it's just awesome to be able to work with all different ages, from children to adolescents to adults to older adults as well. We also have people who deal a lot with PTSD, people who have been in the wars or have suffered trauma because of being molested or raped or things like that. We also have people that deal with addictions, not only drug and alcohol, but other addictions, eating disorders, stress at home, stress at work. We do a lot of couples counseling, and one of the main issues is communication, and people just need to learn how to communicate. We also do a lot of family work, and family issues include parenting techniques, parents taking care of themselves, working together as a team. Also, not only parents, with young children, but we do a lot of counseling with parents with older children as well, and the importance of caregivers taking care of themselves. A lot of times we help people deal with a parent or a loved one who has dementia, or even someone who's in the beginning stages of dementia. They come in and they know they're starting to have dementia or forgetfulness, and they come in for support with that. And we help those who help. It's important to help those who help themselves and to care for themselves so that they can be better caregivers. And one of the main issues I see a lot of is teaching people how to be assertive, and assertive versus being aggressive or passive, and just giving people the tools and the talents. A lot of people have them already, but for them to see them and utilize them to be the best people they can be. And again, it's faith-based. We never force faith on people, but some of my clients pray, they want to pray, or they want to talk about Jesus. Sometimes I've asked my clients if they wouldn't mind if I brought my husband in to talk about faith, or if they have questions about faith that he can answer better than I can. But we never force it on anybody. But it's a blessing to be here. We have a wonderful reputation because we have such dedicated therapists, and it's an honor and a privilege to be here. And again, I thank you all for your support, continued support. Thank you.
Okay, certainly want to thank the ladies here from Westmont Family Counseling Ministries for being with us today. Your organization predates me here by 24 years, so I learned a lot of things today that I didn't know, and I certainly feel a little bit more competent to speak intelligently about the organization. So thank you for being here. And before we have Rodney play another one of his wonderful pieces, let me close with a couple of more of the lines from Psalm 1:8. I do want to remind you again about the live stream on Sunday for Father's Day, next Wednesday with Sammy Supis. And one thing I forgot to mention, we're going to do an outdoor service on the 28th of June. So that should be most interesting. We're looking forward to that. God has promised in his sanctuary, who will bring me to the fortified city? Who will lead me to Edom? Have you not rejected us, O God? You do not go out, O God, with our armies. But, oh, grant us help against the foe, for human help is worthless. With God, we shall do valiantly. It is he who will tread down our foes. Dr. Eatman? Thanks.